Hey everyone, Will here from Mature Minded Gamers, and today we're going to be bringing you a list of the 10 games that we feel are perfect for the casual gamer or family groups. This list is not finite. I mean, there's so many different options. These are just the games that we feel are perfect for the family group, the casual gamer, the new to gaming, something that's easier to play, easier to manage, and something that it could really maybe even get a gamer started into the hobby. So without further ado, within no particular order, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so first up on the list, we're going to be talking to you about Super Colt Express, 3 to 7 player game that plays in around 15 minutes. A great game for larger families or for the gamer group that has a lot of players that we want to sit around and play just a quick game, maybe even between sessions. It's a very basic programming game where you're going to be moving your character around on a train, trying to knock the other players off, all while scoring the most victory points and being the last man standing. A very fun, crazy game that, if you get a player eliminated, which is a possibility in this, that the game sessions are so fast you're going to be back in the action the next round. So a lot of fun, and definitely one you should pick up if you want to be introduced to the program mechanic but don't want the bigger box size and all the rules of the base game of Colt Express, and that would be Super Colt Express. This is a great choice for anyone. All right, so next up on the list, we're going to be talking to you about Hunt a Killer Death at a Dive Bar. You can pick this up at Target right now. It's around $40 or so. This one is a murder mystery where you're going to be going through with you or multiple people trying to solve a specific mystery. This is, you can get this set where you're going to be, every once a month, you're going to be getting these boxes, and it concludes after 6 months. The problem is, for like the full mission or the full story, you're going to be paying upwards of $180 for this thing online. But the nice thing about this Hunt a Killer, the Death at a Dive Bar specifically, is a self-contained story, and I picked it up, like I said, for about $40 on or at Target actually. So a great choice for anyone who likes that murder mystery CSI. Perfect for a couple, or my wife and I actually played this together in an evening, and we had a lot of fun with it. So if you have anybody in your life that likes the murder mysteries or the chase there, I think this is a great one to go with. All right, so next up on the list, we're going to be talking about one of the quintessential gateway games, and that is Settlers of Catan, 3 to 4 player game that plays in about an hour or so. In this game, you're going to be spreading out these different tiles across a map, placing these numbered tokens all across it as well. Players are going to be rolling dice and collecting resources, all while trying to build cities and roads and competing for victory points. So this one is a great game for anyone that, maybe a family who is just now getting into the hobby, or just your casual gamer, someone that, picks up and plays games every once in a while. A very fun game, and definitely one that a lot of people started with to get into board games. And if you have somebody in your life that you want to get there, this is a great place to start. All right, next up is a game that I have played countless times, and that would be Spyfall from Cryptozoic. I have played this game so many times. The higher the player count, actually, the more fun it is. It's going to be a game where one person or multiple people are spies, and the other people are the agents trying to figure out who the spy is. The spy is trying to guess the location of where the agents are. And you go around just kind of asking each other questions, and the person who is a spy has no idea where they are, so they have a hard time answering. They have to listen in on the answers that are given. A very fun, very hilarious game if played with the right people, and this was been a lot of fun. There's actually several versions. There's a DC version, there's Spyfall 2, there's this Spyfall. And I'll be honest, I only own this one, and I just get so much play out of this. I have no reason really to buy the others, because this one is just such a blast. I don't see myself buying more than one copy of this. So this is just a great game for even a casual gamer. You have a bunch of people that come over even as a fun party game. And then even family sitting around just wanting to have a laugh and a good time. So Spyfall by Cryptozoic, definitely one to check out. Next one is from Calliope Games. This one is Soro. This plays actually up to 8 people, I believe. Yeah, 2 to 8 players. This one is like the adult version of Chutes and Ladders, I've always found. The best way to describe it. So you have these stones that are going to be on the edge of the map, and everyone draws 2 card tokens, and then they have to, on their turn, they're going to play one. They're going to orient it in a certain way and then slide their token along the path. And then they draw a tile, the next person goes. And really, it's a last man standing kind of game, and it's a lot of fun. It's one of those thinky games that a lot of people probably based on this box want to kind of pass over. This one is an absolute blast, especially if you have a higher player count and you just want a chill game, or you're just going to be laying down tokens or cards and sliding little stones across the map. Kind of weird to describe. You just don't pass this one up. It's a great setting for any age can play this. On the box here it says ages 8 and up, but I'll be honest, my 4-year-old has played this with me several times and has actually beaten me a couple. So this is actually a really good game to pick up for families and your casual gamer alike. All right, so next up we're going to be talking to you more of a 2-player game. This one is Onitama. This is a very chess-like game where you're going to have the different elements of animals, spirit animals, if you will, and you're going to have in front of you a tableau of, or a board, if you will, of your king as well as a couple pawns. And what you've got to do is you've got to take your 2 elements that have different directions and the movements that they can make, and you're going to be playing those cards, moving your pieces where they need to go, and corresponding to that, you'll be then passing that card to the next one, that card that you use, to the next player. So then when they look at their 2 cards, they're going to be passing one of theirs, taking the one that you just gave them, and it's just going to go kind of back and forth where the cards you're going to be having abilities to move with your actions are going to change every time. Kind of a hard game to describe, but definitely one you don't want to pass up, especially for the concept of this game and neoprene mat that it comes with. The player pawns are really nice. The card quality is really, really thick and just amazing. This has been a lot of fun, especially if you have someone in your life that, maybe just 1 or 2 people, or one other person you want to play with, or someone that's big into chess. This would be definitely one to get them as a gift. Next up, we're going to be talking about a very crazy fun, I'll be honest, I feel like more of an adult type party game, and that is We're Doomed. Plays in around 15 minutes. You're a world leader, and you only have 15 minutes to build an escape ship to be able to get off of a doomed planet, a global planet that's global destruction. And you've got to work together with each other to try to put in enough resources to be able to get enough seats on the rocket ship so everyone can escape. Well, you're going to have people that are, going after their own agendas, trying to thwart that, or different events and cards that can be played on you that can make different things happen while you're playing. It's a crazy timed game where you have a sand timer that's specifically 15 minutes. Everything is great quality in here. The box, the cards, everything. There are tons of cards to use and play with, and a lot of fun, and one I would really check out if you have a large group or you have someone in your life that has a large group that they're going to play with on a regular basis. Not so much like I'd say that I would recommend for younger children. I would really say this is more of a teen game, teenager and up, but a great fun game. 4 to 10 players. I definitely want the higher player count to really have a blast. So that would be We're Doomed. All right, next up we're going to be talking about Ticket to Ride from Days of Wonder. This is a game that I put off for way too long of picking up myself, and I wish I would have gotten it a little bit sooner. For many people that I wanted to get into the hobby and showed them games, I started getting a lot of people off with Catan. Kind of wish I would have started them off with this now that I've played it several times. You can even check out my review on Mature Meta Gamers as well. But this is a game that you're going to be taking train cars, placing them on the board, trying to secure as many routes as possible, or the biggest routes as possible, all while trying to connect cities together and score the destination cards too. And this is just a game that is very simple to learn, fun to play, and hard to actually master. And I think this is a game that has a lot more strategy than what lets on out of the from the rulebook. And it has a lot of expandability as well with all the different maps you can pick up. And I think this is probably the best way to start. There is a My First Ticket to Ride as well for younger children. If you have somebody you want to purchase games for that have younger children, the My First Ticket to Ride may be the best way to go. But for anyone with like 8 and up, I think this would be a great place to start. If you are wanting a casual gamer in your life and they're really big on area control or colors and coding and things like that, I think this is a great place to start Ticket to Ride from Days of Wonder. All right, so next up, we're going to be talking to you about the Dungeons & Dragons starter set. Maybe you've played your first game, or you have someone in your life that, has just played their first game, kind of dabbled into what's possible. The starter set as well as the essentials kit are going to be the 2 best ways to get that player engaged and excited and energized about the world of Dungeons & Dragons. This has pretty much everything you're going to need to get started. That and the essentials kit, the dice, the character sheets, the little bit of a story. And I think this is going to be the great way, the next step for getting anyone involved in Dungeons & Dragons. It's also a great place to start for families as well. So if you have that family in your life that you're like, well, I kind of want to see if they'd be interested in Dungeons & Dragons. Obviously you've got to kind of lead the way or give someone the tools to be able to lead the way for themselves. And the starter kit and the starter set and the essentials kit are the way to do that. So that would be the Dungeons & Dragons starter set, and this is from WizKids. Last but not least, I think is going to be pretty much on everybody's list as far as like great games for casual gamers as well as for families. And I think that would be Pandemic would be one of the best ways to get people into seeing what actual board games do now. Once they get the idea of, hey, this isn't your Scrabble, this isn't your Monopoly, I think this is the way to get people really to get really engaged in the hobby. And I know this has been, the top 10 for a long time for a lot of people. And one of those games, it's like the quintessential board game. This does a lot of things well. This does a lot of things fantastic and easy to learn, but so difficult to master. And everybody has so much fun playing this game. I don't know how many times I've sat around the table playing it. It'll never leave my collection. I will own this forever. This is probably one of my favorite cooperative games. And that's what's really great about this one, is especially for families. It's not, kids versus the parents, or one of the parents with, runaway leader and then making, kids feel bad. This would be a great way to introduce, like teenagers, 10, 9, 8, into how the games work as far as like how cooperative games and getting them engaged. And I think this would be a great way to do it. As far as the gameplay itself, you're going to be taking these cards, trying to cure these diseases that are all across the board, trying to eradicate them, all while using variable player powers that each player is going to have for each character. And I think this is just such a fantastic game. So that would be Pandemic from Z-Man Games. Alright everyone, so that was our list of the 10 games we feel would be perfect for those casual gamers or those family gamers in your life. What do you think of our list? Would you add something different? Would you take something off? We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please hit that like and subscribe button, drop a comment in the section below. But until next time, everyone, stay safe.